The leader of the opposition began his budget speech with a broadside against the government, saying that the budget book can no longer be taken as an authoritative indication of the economic health of this community, and that therefore the GSD will vote against the budget.
Over the last 6 years, we have seen a systematic destruction of parliamentary governance in Gibraltar, and in particular, the deliberate disablement of the ability of this Parliament through this debate and elsewhere to properly scrutinise our public finances in any meaningful way. The Chief Minister has the dubious distinction of leading a government that, through the opacity in the way it has chosen to structure the public finances of this community, has made a mockery, Mr. Speaker, of these annual debates.
Daniel Feetham said the estimates of revenue and expenditure were only half of the picture. The reason, he said, was that the government had borrowed some £772 million through government-owned or controlled companies, used to fund its expenditure, and none of this is in the book. Mr. Feetham said this is an issue of huge concern, even more so post-Brexit referendum. He said the gross debt was upwards of £1 billion, treble what Mr. Bigardo had today claimed it was, and questioned the announcement of the record surplus.
I have to say, Mr. Speaker, I also have to admire the honourable gentleman, the Chief Minister, the way he stands up and poker-faced. He says to this House that the government has made a surplus of £75.8 million this year, but of course, if the debt in government-owned companies to the tune of £772 million, that pot of money, is being used to pay for expenditure that is properly the government's expenditure, and that expenditure is not reflected in these accounts, it is not possible, Mr. Speaker, to say that the government is running the public finances of Gibraltar at a surplus of revenue over expenditure. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, he does not want a public accounts committee, because he knows that that would give us the ability to ask questions of those public servants running those companies which have within them had within them, because we don't know how much has been spent, £772 million.
The GSD leader welcomed what he described as prudent budget measures. However, he raised concerns over morale issues in the GHA, subcontracted labour in the care agency, and he stated that unemployment figures were skewed by 0 or minimal hour contracts. In conclusion, Daniel Feetham called for carefully targeted spending, no more pharaonic projects, No. 6 Convent Place palaces or suspension bridges, but training, education and the creation of jobs for the community.